Hello, my name is Nicole Rojas, and I'm here to reflect on my interviewing project regarding gender issues. I chose this topic particularly because even though it's been around for what I feel to be hundreds of years, in most recent years it's gained the recognition that it deserves. And that is due to the, I guess you could say, the issue of same-sex marriage, as well as the issue of transgender issues, and the recognition that it's been gaining due to hate crime, bullying, and just a lot of political protests. And my project focuses on the reality that the issue of gender has been going on for quite some time and rooted in history very, very much long ago. And I have my interviewees pretty much touch upon that foundation and build upon it in explaining how the evolution of gender and its definition has impacted all of us and has impacted social structures and social norms, and how those social structures and social norms in consequence impacted us. And my interviewees were, one was the director of the LGBTQ Center, Chase Catalano, and my second interviewee was Coy Adams, a fellow Syracuse student. As you watch the YouTube video, you'll see that both of these lovely interviewees were more than helpful, and I chose them to be my interviewees based off of three, I guess you say, criterias. One, their knowledge and experience. Both my interviewees have immense knowledge on the issue and topic, and due to their own personal research and their professional research, they've been able to provide me with information that's not only factual but interesting. Two, their passion. The fact that they use what they know to fuel the work that they do on this campus. And number three, getting away from knowledge and getting away from the passion, is their status here and their involvement in the LGBTQ community, the gender community, I guess you could say, the community in which stresses the importance of being politically correct, as well as catering to groups that are constantly overlooked. So my first interview with Chase Catalano was phenomenal, and I chose him specifically to focus on the micro impact of gender issues. Well, not necessarily micro impact, but the impact of gender issues on a micro level being Syracuse's campus rather than nationally. So with his knowledge and experience and his involvement here in Syracuse's campus, he's been here for, I believe, as you would see in the interview, for I believe roughly 4 years. And in those 4 years, he has seen students come and go. He has seen the development of gender issues, as well as the development of how the definition of gender and the impact of gender has influenced students to take a stance as individuals as well as a group in making Syracuse a safer campus and a more accepting campus, a more knowledgeable campus, a more aware campus. And he has helped back up multiple orgs, has helped many students, him as well as the rest of the people who work for the Resource Center, in terms of making sure that people are able to define who they are in terms of gender, in terms of accepting the fact that their sex may not necessarily be something that they relate to. And that interview also reflected on how his knowledge of what students have done in order to and how the students who have come and go in terms of how they've defined themselves and how their definitions have evolved throughout time. And it's quite interesting to see how new definitions and new, I guess I would say, labels have risen from this evolvement that I'm referring to. My second interview with Coy Adams, he's a current junior here at Syracuse University, and as you watch his interview, you'll understand that his major and the org that he's involved with here on campus give him enough information and knowledge, as well as his own personal research to add on to it, to pretty much give me so much information in terms of the history of gender and sex, and how intersectionality in terms of race, gender, sex, socioeconomic class, they all play a key role in how their capability in evolving and improving and progressing. Both these interviews were phenomenal, amazing, and because I decided to have a more lenient and less structured route, it gave them the freedom and the opportunity, as well as the access, to pretty much speak about anything that they wanted to. And while I did guide them towards a specific direction, they branched off in different, along the path that I put them on, in order to speak about things that I'd never thought of considering and interviewing them about. So I felt as though what I did was perfect, especially for this topic at hand. Both interviews were a little bit lengthy and long, but the information and the content was just incredibly juicy and full, and in my personal opinion, absolutely beautiful and impacting. And I would love to interview just as many people, but of course, it's difficult to find people that are going to be just as passionate as these two amazing individuals. But I was very proud, very happy, and I learned a lot from what they were able to tell me in terms of issues, in terms of progression, in terms of political reforms, in terms of social reforms, in terms of what the school has done, what the government has done, what we as people have done. And it pretty much came full circle, which was great. Of course, the topic is very grand and very large, and there's so many holes that need to be filled in due to horrible history, but I felt as though my topic was definitely a good foundation, a good start to what could possibly be built upon. And gender issues is an issue in which I hope will continue to gain recognition, will continue to be respected and taken seriously by the masses, because at the end of the day, regardless of the fact that I'm deemed as normal, not everyone else is. And even though I'm deemed as normal, I'm still considered to be inferior, and still considered to be a minority, and still considered to be just not adequate in certain social spheres. So if me, who's deemed normal, generally can have so many obstacles and hindrances, just imagine people who on a daily basis struggle to figure out who they are, and to figure out if who they are will be accepted, and who they are will be stigmatized and have prejudice against, and people, and it's a very serious issue that I feel needs to be taken seriously, because people's lives are at stakes, people's happiness, people's joy, people's ability to grow in this society, to progress in this society, to make something out of themselves, to be successful in this society, is prevented because of ignorance, and because of lack of knowledge, and because of lack of acceptance. So thank you very much, and please take my interview seriously. Enjoy every single minute, second, millisecond of it as much as I did. Thank you.